Well, today I'm uploading something a little different.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we upload different things on a Wednesday.
Right.
This one's incredibly different. As a few of you already know, a couple of days ago my brother died. Not unexpected. He's had cancer for quite some time, and the
Mm-hmm.
funeral will be in a couple of days.
Right.
And I simply wanted to upload some of the clips from the show
Mm-hmm.
and some clips that we didn't use in the show of David.
Mm-hmm.
It's been quite a roller coaster since
Yes.
starting this show.
Right.
As again, some of you know, the whole show started when I was laid off from my job,
Early retirement.
early retirement, as it were, in the school in California where I was teaching.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, my mother was not well, and my
Right.
brother, who was also not terribly well, was taking care of her.
Wow.
And I knew that the time had come for me to return to Salt Lake to take care of my mother.
Mm-hmm.
And as a function of that, launch the show and
Right.
start doing the show, because that would be a good deal of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And that would relieve my brother from some of his responsibilities.
It's difficult to be a caregiver. I was for both of my parents and my grandparents, and it's a tough job.
Yeah, and
Right.
and he was feeling the pressure of that, and there
Mhm.
I was in California all by
Right.
myself, and
Right.
just kind of doing my job and doing my thing. So
Mm-hmm.
when that job evaporated in a blaze of glory,
Mm-hmm.
it was pretty obvious. I made a couple of phone calls within days. David was in California helping me load the truck, and he helped me drive all of my stuff, which is now
Oh boy.
has been in boxes for 20 years as I've been
Mhm.
traveling around.
Right.
And now back in Salt Lake, I'm able
Mhm.
to start unpacking that. One thing I hadn't counted on
What was that?
was right after starting the show, I was texted by someone who saw the Rat Fink
Oh
reunion.
yeah, there's the Rat Fink reunion. Yes, I
And,
posted on your video because I'm like, who is this guy?
Yes.
I should know him, man't I? And I was like, okay, I'm right in the area. I go to Rat Fink every year. Eileen and we go way back like to 1979, and so yeah.
And
So
I
who's
had
this guy?
known the Roths for a while, and
Right.
somehow one thing led to another, and
Here we are.
well, the next thing you know, we were getting married.
That's right.
And that was also featured
Mm-hmm.
on the channel. It was not long after that at all that my mother passed away,
Yes,
and that
sad.
was also on the channel.
Mm-hmm.
Those of you who saw that show on the Browning Gun Museum
Right.
actually also saw a small part of my mother's funeral.
Right.
And now, just a month and a year later, David has finally passed. And so I wanted to just upload some video of David doing what he did best, which was
Right.
screwing around.
He just had the best personality. I mean, I never was around him. I wasn't laughing, uncontrollably. It's funny I didn't lose a lot of weight because my sides would just ache. I mean, he'd have me laughing so hard. He just had the best jokes. And I'll always remember him for his jokes and his sense of humor and his wit, that smile.
I can honestly say, without any equivocation, he is the one who taught me everything I know about screwing around.
Oh, absolutely. I think between the two boys, I'm
He,
sure your mom had her hands
When we
full.
were kids, he was, it was either 10 or 11, I forget exactly, and he showed up at home with a 1930 Chrysler, which he had just purchased for $15.
Right.
And learned to
Oh,
drive that
my.
car in the driveway, all 100 feet of driveway. I think he put over 100 miles on that car, just going up and down the driveway, driving the 3-speed, double clutching, analyzing how the engine worked, and learning all things about cars.
My hat goes off to your mom.
Yeah.
I raised my two girls as a single parent. Driving scared me to death when they got old enough to drive, let alone that young.
Yeah.
Even though I started driving around 10, but just, you worry. And so
When he
your
very
mom was
first
really
started,
awesome.
he had to slide to the edge of the seat
Yeah.
to get his feet onto the pedals.
Mm-hmm.
And he's holding the steering wheel up like this and peering through the rungs of the steering wheel and driving this 3-speed manual transmission, no synchros, mind you,
No.
up and down the driveway.
And see, if I'd have been your mom, I'd been going, but
And he's had antique cars ever since.
Right, he just loves them.
himself an antique car, and he loved himself a player piano.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, that's when I first met him, was over a Maxwell, when he bought the Maxwell. And that was the first time I met David. And it was just such a fun day. I grew up around this. My dad was always dragging home an orphan. And we would try to get it going and try to start it. And that's how I learned to drive. And then, of course, my dad would trailer it and we'd haul it home the same way. So I haven't done that in years and years. So that day was special. It was like, oh, I get to relive my childhood again. A lot of fun.
I don't know how many cars David owned over the course of his life, but it's got to be way north of 50 cars.
Oh, at least.
Because he would just buy cars and restore them and fix them up and drive them around and then just sell them off because it was too much of a project.
But he had to
and
tell
buy
you about them.
something
He
else
could
and-
tell you everything about the car.
Oh my goodness! He
Yeah.
could tell you if one of the bolts on the transmission had been replaced because the aircraft style bolt that had been used to repair it wasn't original.
That's right.
No,
Right.
he would go looking for an original bolt because the aircraft quality bolt offended him.
Right.
He wanted everything
original.
absolutely original and pure. And
Right. But he could be funny telling about it the whole time.
Oh.
I mean, he could just, he was fun to be around.
one of the things that he did as kids, and he knew he could always crack me up. No matter how pissed off I was or anything going on, all he had to do was his impersonation of a light bulb burning out.
A light bulb burning.
A light bulb burning out, and it
Oh,
would just
my.
crack, and it was so stupid. I mean, that's the thing. It was a light bulb burning out. It was just, Gah!
Oh,
That's it. That's the whole. But it would crack
but
me
it
up.
just made
It would
you
just,
laugh.
and after the 4 millionth time he did that, he knew he could just totally crack me up.
He
by
just
doing
do
that.
it too. He just do it.
I guess he just did his final impersonation of a light bulb burning out.
Yeah,
But
right.
what a joy!
What a privilege to know
absolutely-
such a man.
yeah, what a perfect older brother
Absolutely.
to teach me how to screw around very effectively.
Right. That's
So
fun.
check it out. This
Okay.
is David and his cars.
Nice.
So are you getting any error codes from the computer?
Like in the scanner.
Do that or go back to this thing. Those are really So I think all that does is it grounds the magneto out, like a lawnmower. So it's like crazy.
The switch, the other way.
Yeah, don't let that stuff on. Wow, that's good. Good. I think it was firing a little, wasn't it?
Yeah, so don't break your phone.
Maybe we need more choke again. Does that toggle? Did you make it so the toggle switch works?
Well, I hooked it up, yeah, and I got the switch switched towards the passenger side, but I don't know.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say if you knew, I'd say why don't you turn it off while I'm choking. It doesn't really matter.
Did it actually fire?
I think a minute ago I thought I heard a little bit of something. Not this one. I think that'd be enough gas.
Yeah.
But for all we know, the carburetor's gummed up or something. sound. I guess everything's okay, huh? That's okay. For
Yeah.
Like that guy looks like.
Ford tri-motor. Don't use it.
Too late. Already got it. Yeah.